If you don't know me, I tend to be a little verbose, pretty long-winded. If you ask me a question, I'm going to answer 9 different answers to like 2 other questions, and it's going to get very rambly. But the point of that is I like being articulate, I like being as explicit as possible, because I work in a profession that tends to misconstrue what you say, and TV, you know, whatever, YouTube, things get taken out of context, and it's just a fucking nightmare. So this is all about being in real time, where you can hear the sound of my voice, and you can feel my heart say thank you, stuff like that, where I mean it.
It's a non-exclusive show. The show is inherently inclusive for everybody. You know,
everyone's represented.
Everyone's represented, and that transcends, you know, sexuality, spirituality, or any
physicality,
any choices in one's life, or anything that, you know, somebody, you know, deals with on a personal level. So it's cool to be, yeah, going to all these cities, and I won't even make that about the center of our country or any side. It's just cool that we can mobilize this thing and be there in person.
Yeah.
I'm dying to know as well. I mean, I was on track to go the full musician path because, you know, as a composer and a writer, you're kind of the master and commander of your own ship. As an actor, you're kind of at the whimsy of so many different authorities, and it's really tough because you have to be at the right place, right time, right look, all that. And that was getting frustrating. I was writing these musicals, and it was making me really happy because I could just do it. Nobody could stop me. Like, I didn't have to audition to write something. I just did it. So, having said that, I was going to throw in the acting towel and then and just pursue this album. But then, as soon as the Glee came around, I kind of got really busy. And so the record that I would have made then would have been very different from the record that I would make now. You know, the audience and sentiments have sort of changed, and I have a responsibility to kind of adhere to that. So that's my long-winded way of saying I don't know, and I would love to work on it very soon. But if anything's going to keep me from working on a solo album, I'm happy to say that it's Glee. I'll take it. That's fine.
I was raised backstage, which is I think I grew up a lot faster, not in like a sort of lascivious way, but I just kind of I was around adults my whole young life. Yeah.
It's whatever you decide it to mean, man. It's a highly philosophical, metaphorical concept. It's so much bigger than any of us.
I feel like I've been given this superhero's outfit that I never asked for, but it's an awesome superhero's outfit, so I put it on, and you're just hoping and praying that you can do it some kind of justice, and if people want to believe in an ideal and it's been bestowed on you, yeah, it is a responsibility. I never went looking for it, but I'm happy to take it on, and it happens to be something that I'm proud of and something that I believe in as well. Just, you know, the show, all its themes. So if anybody has to do the job, I'm happy to be
playing gay. Was it at all like a? Were you any reservations?
No, not at all. I mean, to me, you know, playing gay or playing anything, you know, is a character, and you know, it's a part of your job. And obviously there are socio-political connotations of playing a gay character, especially as a straight actor. But I really find it no different than, and I've said this before, you know, Max Adler, who plays, you know, a homophobic football-playing bully, which couldn't be farther from who he is.
Sweet guy, yeah.
And Heather Morris, who plays, you know, like a dumb, you know, cheerleader, also a character. So, you know, it's all about embracing the story that you're supposed to tell and serving that in the best way you can. So if he happens to be gay, then cool, that's awesome. You know, you sympathize and empathize and live that as much as possible and hope that you can do it some kind of justice.
I remember seeing Aladdin and looking around the audience, seeing how, and I wasn't this articulate when I was a child, but I remember very distinctly thinking, oh, this is so cool that all these strangers are friends for 2 hours, and that everyone's experiencing this communal, kind of cathartic experience via this genie.
What's your songwriting process look like?
What's it look like? It looks like a mess. I don't know, it's tough. I mean, when you write music for musicals, there's a dramatic context, and you have sort of a lead-in as to what you're writing. Like, this song is for this person, this moment. There's a lot of ingredients that are kind of there for you. And you kind of just add water and kind of stir, and you really kind of can play with what's already given you. So it depends. Sometimes there's a phrase or some kind of adage or expression that you run with. And then, I mean, the songs that are toughest to write are the ones that, like, I write for myself if I'm trying to express something. You're just really starting something from nothing. So it depends. Sometimes it starts with just a line, like a dialogue or a lyric, and then you build upon that, or it starts with like a riff. So it has a lot. Like I said, if you can't tell from my answer, it's a pretty chaotic mess, and it's stuff that's all over the place that I have to sort of glue together and piece together into some kind of, you know, cohesive thing.
Taste is basically just
contextualize preference. Like, so there's like nostalgia, there's like when you heard it, who were you with when you heard it, you know?
I have to cast my net as wide as possible. And it's the classic battle between art and commerce. Like, what is the widest thing that I can cast, the most appealing thing that I can do, while still maintaining some kind of artistic integrity to what I think is unique to me? And so there's all these songs that I've been writing that I've been sitting on and dwelling over in rooms by myself with friends and collaborators. And it's all this guesswork that's just done in very small places. And I was like, you know what, this is stupid. I need to be performing again, because then you can really experience things in real time with real people. These are the people that are on Tumblr, on Facebook, and on Twitter. And it's such a disconnect that I just needed to be with people again and really find out what works and what doesn't work. And as soon as if it doesn't work, like, it's immediately apparent. The audience sniffs it out. The audiences are smart, whether they know it or not.
You're doing like a pretty tight schedule. It's like a month, a really tight month.
I can't wait. I'm a vagabond. I love living out of a bag, and I just love being on the road. And it's a great time to think and to write. And it's a work vacation, really. Yeah. And if it is going to be, you know, as exciting as it sounds like it's going to be, because there's people there that are not. I'm not the only person that goes on stage and goes, "Yay!" Like, clearly, other people are going to have energy, or at least I'm hoping. So there's going to be this real symbiotic, like, yay factor that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah. And we're having a really, really great time. It's been so nice to meet all of you along the way. And I've heard so many wonderful things from meeting people outside or before or after shows. And I tend to be, I try and be as articulate as possible with everybody as far as trying to be, you know, I guess in our short time that we have with each other, whether I met you or not, I really want to try and make it special.
Being an actor, even, or being involved in performing arts, is an inherently
communal.
Well, I was going to say it is communal, but because it's an inherently masochistic lifestyle where you're consistently subjecting yourself to criticism and judgment and disappointment, and so, you know, living that kind of life can be kind of difficult. But you know, it's amazing to have things that are communal, like glee clubs or theater, are things that were kind of highlighted in the film. Where and cheerleader, you know, when girls are cheerleader, there's so many ways to surround yourself with people that'll support you. That you know, you'll feel that it is okay. So those are my people, like doing theater and stuff like that.
I'm still kind of in a very entry-level version of my acting career, and I like to think that I'm at this point a sophomore in this Hollywood high school. You know. I know a few more people. I'm not as unsure of myself. I've met some cool seniors, you know. I've joined some really cool clubs, and so I'm getting to know it a little better. And when I say Hollywood, as a term, I mean, you know, music, acting, all that stuff, entertainment in general. Dolphins are awesome, and they like to have fun.
They're very smart.
And there's, well, maybe then I should not really. Maybe I'm not. I wouldn't say. I'd say most dolphins are smarter than me, because they're hanging out in oceans, like dancing and jumping around, being groovy, while I'm like working my butt off as a human being. So I don't know. I would like to emulate the joy of a dolphin.
Okay.
So maybe that's like what I would aspire my spirit animal to be.
I've never been defensive about this. I've always been a fan of all music, and I've been proud of the fact that even as a kid, I never really let peripheral opinions influence my likes and dislikes about the music itself. I've always been a fan of pop music, and as a songwriter, I've always loved the forefront of all the Britney Spears tunes, the Backstreet Boys tunes. All these tunes are melodically and structurally amazing. Like, they're incredible songs, and they're hits for a reason. They don't leave your head for a reason. I think a lot of people will get caught, especially if you're a little more hardcore. You'll be like, "Oh no, I don't like that stuff," but you don't realize that those are the same chord structures as a lot of your favorite songs. I'm really a lover of genre, and I like to think of it as a genre-conscious artist. So if I'm writing, you know, a musical, and you know, you want to write very contemporary pop songs, then that's the jacket you put on and you do that. But if I'm working on, you know, if I'm working with an MC friend of mine and we're doing something that's much more hip-hop, then, you know, you put that jacket on and you do that, and you know, there's different parameters per genre, and you really have to embrace what it is. Like, if you're gonna write a country song, hell yeah, man, like, write a country song and do what it is that those songs are. So I think depending on the project, I'm kind of a mercenary. As far as my own personal music is concerned, it just kind of happens.
There's just so many things that are attached to it now for me, nostalgically and contextually, that it's just that easily has the biggest place in my heart. I think they did it right. I think it was written really well and it was really sweet, and I think it was very warranted, which was sort of my biggest hope for if and when it would happen. You know, everybody's like, when are they going to get together? When are they going to get together? And like all great love stories, it's not about the eventual success of it, but the long and, you know, drawn out anticipatory journey.
What would I say is my sexiest quality? I don't know, because I feel like as soon as I say, if I was to assert my own sexy quality, it would immediately make it unsexy. So I have no idea, and I hope that people can have their own opinions of what that is.
This show is so involved with fan culture and pop culture, which are kind of in the same boat now, that so many things in pop culture are directly affiliated with internet, social media. I mean, it's all one big melting pot of people being interested in the same goal, such that all the writers and the producers are very, you know, internet buzz savvy and are very conscious of what fans are thinking or saying, so much that they'll mention things, or they'll be, you know, the fans will be worried about something, so they'll put that in the script of, you know, a character saying, you know, I really don't want to blah, 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 blah right now, because as if to address those people directly. I see it all the time.
I can't believe it sort of in the idiomatic sense of, oh, I can't believe that it's such a big deal, but at the same time, in a real sense, I can, because he is an incredible guy, you know, 20 years old, having accomplished as much as he has is just so inspiring and so amazing. You know, in the entertainment world, he's sold scripts, he's producing things, he's winning Golden Globes, and on a sort of more humanitarian philanthropic front, he's doing so much as a spokesperson for young people. And
despite everything, despite whatever verbal facility you may or may not have, there are those moments where you're completely speechless. This happens to me all the time. All the time. In most restaurants, it's really fun. You play like jazz standards. I'm a big fan of the American Songbook, sort of standard, you know, collection. We have an amazing history of music, and I would try and be as unobtrusive as possible at these restaurants where I would try to play a song that sounded like a standard, so people would be interested. That it would be like my music. I would sneak it in there so it would sound like a big Doors Day tune. I go, that was nice. What song was that? I go, it's mine. Please buy my music.
It's just all new music. I mean, it's, you know, all of my music. So people who have known me for several years or maybe just several minutes, it'll be kind of an amalgamation of like stuff that I've done with my theater group, stuff that I've done before of my solo material, but it'll mostly be new songs that no one's ever heard before. So that's why it's called Listen Up. It's like, listen up to the new tunes, man.
Audience is amazing. Like Mark said, there's this kind of symbiotic energy that you know, you'll get from a crowd that'll just make you more excited, makes them more excited, and then exponentially you're just more and more excited.
Explode.
There was a screw up. Not really a screw up. Nobody would have known but me. It's usually if there's like some kind of flub you can share it with another actor. This was a completely personal experience that by the skin of my teeth I fixed it in the last second, and I was like, this was like, if I'm watching the movie of my life, this is like my favorite scene of this How to Succeed movie so far, is that during I Believe in You, which is like an iconic number, like, wow, I can't believe I get to sing that amazing song. We have a little number with an electric shaver, and so it's hidden in the sink, and so the whole joke is, you know, the other guys, you know, they're doing the, you know, wet shave, whereas Finch is ahead of the game. He's got the electric shaver, no problem. It's going to take 2 seconds. So he's, you know, I'm doing this, and then I drop it in the sink to check, you know, the whiskers, and I look down, and if you've ever used an electric shaver, they're very like, they just break. You press a button, they just like, it's if there is a break button, like self-combust button. So springs everywhere, and it's a mess. And I'm like, oh, crap. And I literally have like, however, 4 counts to bring it back up again for sort of the button of if I wasn't done.
So it was in pieces?
It was in pieces, and I don't know how. Like, I tunnel vision, like possessed, like manic magic hands somehow. I have no idea how it happened. I'm so proud of myself. Just by the final second, like putting like militaristic, putting like a rifle together, right in the nick of time. Like,
look at that.
Yeah, like pun intended, nick in time. Well, that shouldn't have happened. I don't know. I got freaked out by it. I was like, "What does this mean?" So I wish I was that like useful when other stuff breaks in my life. But it was so exhilarating. I could put it back together right in time. And the other thing that was kind of annoying about it is like I almost wish people saw this, because like it's like when you do something really cool and nobody sees it, you're like, damn it! I really needed somebody to see that. But that was an incredible moment for me. That was a personal triumph, other than opening on Broadway.